Just ask.
Oh, Mommy said she did. Anyway, Cody's been with the Kingwood area Democrats for probably before I was with the Kingwood area. Yeah, you know, so he's been one of the great leaders out there. And you know a good guy when he comes and he spends. He's young. And we have some little things going on here in Kingwood, and he's always there with the youth. He's always there with us old fogies. So we know that this guy is going places. So let me present you Cody Pogue.
Thanks to everybody for coming out. Thanks for Humberto for opening up his house and for the food and everything else. I'm Cody Pogue. I'm running for Texas legislature. As you can already see, I'm not a traditional politician. I'm a teacher. Education is my passion, and I've been teaching for a while. I taught college for about 2 or 3 years. I taught high school before that, and I substituted. That's how I paid for most of my college, is by substituting, working my way through that way. Education really is important. I mean, because what is the future if it's not a future of people who are educated, right? It's important not only to the individual students who are getting the education, but to society as well. I mean, everything from medicine to exploring outer space to everything we do involves education. We wouldn't have the internet. We wouldn't have all the luxuries we have if we didn't have education. So education is important. It's important to us, and we realize that, but there's some people that it's not quite as important to. This past year, if you've been keeping up, the Texas legislature voted to cut education by over $5 billion. Because of that, we've seen class sizes go up. We saw teachers lose their jobs. We've seen people who just got out of college, majored in education, ready to go in and start teaching. They're substituting, and they're not getting jobs, and they're working fast food jobs and all that kind of stuff. The Texas legislature didn't make education a priority, but I'm going to when I get in there. Right? Because education is important. The future of our kids, that's important as well. Right? So that's important to me. We're going to fund education, but not only that, we need to clean up our environment. I'm a strong believer in environmentalism. A clean environment is important. I was lucky enough to grow up in a world where, after World War II, my grandfather used the GI Bill to buy a big farm out near Huntsville, Texas. You know, that's big government for you that the Republicans like to talk bad about, right? But with the GI Bill, he bought a farm out near Huntsville, Texas, and growing up, it was 80 acres, and I was out there pretty much every weekend, growing up close to nature, and I feel like that played a big role in who I am today. But all kids don't get to experience that. We grow up in cities, concrete jungles, as they call them these days, and we're away from a lot of that stuff. I think that every kid should be able to have access to the natural world, our forest land, our rivers, our lakes. Every kid should have clean air to breathe, clean water to drink, and natural wonders to go and experience. And I think that's really important. Camping and hiking and fishing, just like I did with my family when I was young, we need to continue those same traditions. I'm also a big believer in protecting the middle class. Back in the 1970s, the top 1% only brought home around 9% of the income. Today, that top 1% brings in over 25% of the income. America is built on a strong middle class. But what we're watching today, over the last 20 years, ever since Ronald Reagan pretty much, that little top group of the rich are getting extremely rich, and that big middle class is starting to go more to the poor side. And I don't think that's right. We need to stand up for a strong middle class. A strong middle class is vital to America's future. Because of that, I support labor unions. I support a fair wage for every worker. I support whatever is going to keep the middle class strong, the working class strong, and so forth. You know, as I've been watching these Republican debates lately, anybody been watching those? One of the things I've noticed is that they talk about values a lot. Family values, they say. You know, they talk about, Rick Perry had an ad where he talked about sin and that sort of thing. Let me tell you what's a sin. In America today, 30% of people, or in Texas today, 30% of people don't have health insurance. 20% of children, 1 out of every 5 children don't have health insurance. You don't want to talk about sin. Don't talk about homosexuality or anything like that. Let's talk about all these people going without health insurance. You know, Jesus said blessed are the poor. He didn't say blessed are the rich. He didn't say blessed are the 1%. Right? He said, blessed are the poor. He said in his very first message, he said, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me because he's anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. There's a verse in the Bible that says, it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to go into heaven. Right? There was once a young man who walked up to Jesus when he was in the Bible, and he said, what must I do to follow you? Jesus said, sell everything you own and give it to the poor. And he couldn't do it because his heart was hardened, the Bible says. And you know, as I watch these Republicans debate, they're saying, you know, we're great Christians because we oppose homosexuality. Let me tell you what's a sin: not helping the poor, having people without health insurance, taking people's jobs away, giving people a lower wage than they deserve for work that they work hard to do. So we need a strong middle class in America, and if I'm elected, that's something I'm going to stand for. We're going to give a good education to every child. We're going to keep a healthy natural environment, clean air, clean water, and so forth, and we're going to keep a strong middle class. That's what I say.
In order for us to bring this guy in, you know what it means, right? First of all, we all have to get people registered in this area. I have three things I'd like to announce. One, on Monday, help me out.
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock at the Kingwood Lone Star College now, in room number
CLA
114. 114.
That's your teaching career.
That's right. We have a registrar coming in to we have a registrar coming in to actually teach us what we need to do as far as registering people in the area. As whoever can show, we need you there because we need you to be deputized to go out there and register people all over District 127 and all over the county. Well, in predominantly Democratic districts or precincts. The second thing, to get these people elected, Diane, Cody, we need to have money. We, Kingwood area Democrats, we're having a fundraiser at the Kingwood Country Club on Saturday the 11th at 10 a.m. Please go to our website, kingwoodareademocrats.org. If you can, buy a ticket. We need you out there. This is going to be funding all the things that we need to do to actually get people mobilized and out there voting. You want to add something?
You might mention, I think you put out flyers.
Yes, there are some flyers.
And I have some too. We'd be happy to take a flyer, and we'd love to have you there. It's a great event, fabulous brunch, really great people. You'll meet all the candidates. You'll meet more candidates than you've ever met in your life. But it's a great event, so please do come. And I'll have the flyers if you'd like one. Just let me know.
Yeah, you have them up there?
I'll have them.
Yeah. Okay, great. Before I forget to thank my wife. My wife, for the last 2 days, she went ahead and did quite a bit of shopping and did a whole bunch of cooking today, so I better say that before I get in.
He's always working.
Well, a few more things for me. Joy is going to be passing these around. Basically, to get a little bit of stuff from your name, your email, so that you can be on my email list. So anything that's going on, any information we need to get out, we can send it to you through there. Also, ask if you would like to volunteer. We're going to need people to do phone banking, people to go knock on doors with us, and other things like that. So if you're interested there. Also, it says contribute the amount of, at these things, normally they charge $40, $50, $60, sometimes $100 or more dollars than that. I'm a progressive guy, though, right? I don't think it's right to charge everybody the same amount. You know, if you bring in $1 million, you should pay more than if you bring in, $1,000. So I chose not to say everybody pays $40, because for somebody that's nothing, and for somebody else they won't be able to come because of it. So give whatever you're able to give. You know, if you got a lot of money, we'll give out of your abundance. If you don't have any money to give, a poor college student or something, I totally understand. I've been there. We can use you to volunteer. Right? Finally, it says, I would like to host a house party. It could be yes or no or maybe. What I would like to do is have house parties like this, not as big as this for the most part, but where you invite maybe 10 of your neighbors into your home, and I can come and talk to them and show them a little video and maybe have some cookies and something like that. And that will allow your neighbors to hear about me. who may not be as connected in the Democratic Party. They can hear about me, and then hopefully one of them will decide to have a party, and then we can have a party at their house, and then maybe we can just go all over the area like that. So if you're interested in having a house party, check that and make sure we get this, by the time you leave, and we can get you set up.
Excellent. And again, folks, a lot of people get demoralized in our district. We looked at the demographics in our district, and Cody did some random calling. Our district is competitive. The only thing that will make it uncompetitive is if we don't do what we need to do. So, thank you very much, and fill the thing out for him, please. And I don't want any food left here, so eat it up, please.
That's right. Dessert, I have ice cream, peach cobbler, dump cake,